River, no. Sorry if you heard that. My dog heard someone barking outside and decided to retaliate, even though she normally knows I don't. Okay, well, I'm just saying. Saying my dog barked. Well, now they know what.
Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing? Right, so we do have a relatively quiet week for Milestones of Champions, which is a fairly uncommon sight at the very least this month. But hey, what's up Percy, Adam, Growler, Jacob, Rohit, Relentless Grinds, Jackattax, Q, Y2P, everybody else. Welcome. As always, KT Time is a podcast format type of stream, so we will be paying close attention to the chat, but we will not actively reply to all the questions unless they are very on point and add something to the discussion at hand. Before we get to the initial topics, we definitely have to welcome the wonderful, amazing, insightful, creative co-host of KT Time, which is Mandalorian. So, what's up, Mando?
Hey, hello, KT. Hope you're doing well on this Sunday. And hello to everybody out there, either watching live or in the future. And actually, to my future self, hey, did you remember to change your patch? Okay, just a reminder. Make sure you do that tonight. Okay, that's it.
Very well then. So even though we have had more quiet week, obviously, as always, we must start with the blunders of our wonderful,
Mm.
wonderful Kabam team.
Are you serious? They make blunders? KT.
I mean, what I meant to say is with our inability to interpret moments of genius. I don't know.
Yes. It definitely had some, what would I like to say, bumps in the road as things change. Where the big thing that changed, well, after last week, besides Alliance Quest, they had Alliance War. They had a slight change where they changed, but that's not as much as what happened with the arena. The basic arena became, um, what's the word? Less units than what it was supposed to be.
That was
And
that wasn't quite the
go ahead,
basic
sorry.
one. That was the Summoner Trials arena.
Summer Trials, that's what I meant. I forgot what it's called.
No
Not the
worries.
like basic for like the
Yeah.
champion, but yeah, the ones that go for the 4-star Nexus and all that. That one, they changed it to where it was getting less units for the milestones, and it wasn't right. It was wrong, in other words. They're supposed to be correcting that. Hopefully, we'll see. However, it wasn't clear whether or not you had to
But
do all the milestones
yeah,
to
exactly.
ensure. But
The thing that I didn't like is everybody knows exactly what went wrong, but Kabam were unable to tell exactly how they're going to fix it. So players went into a state of
yeah,
do I just try to grind out all the milestones that are actually there and they're going to correct it as if I did all the milestones that I was like going to do, or do I have to put up the 4.4 million points? Like,
yeah.
why is it so hard with Kabam to tell exactly how they're gonna approach the subject so people know exactly what to do? It's as if they're playing some sort of twisted game with players. So we
Yeah.
told that this is gonna work this way, but it doesn't. So we will compensate people. But go and
Yeah,
figure out
exactly.
what you have to do.
It doesn't make a lot of sense
Yeah.
to me, or anyone really, I don't think. And that's why I was telling people that asked me. I said, look, I don't know, but I would say hit the max milestones. You probably want to do that
Yeah, if you
anyway.
wanted, yeah, you probably actually. Well, but that's the thing. Do you want to hit the max milestones or do you want to go for 4.4 million? Because there is no
Yeah, that's the
4.4 million milestone
yeah.
now.
The minimum I'd say is hit the max milestones. But yeah, I would say 4.4 would probably be, but I don't think there's a way they're going to be able to
Kind of went
filter
quiet
it
all of a sudden.
easily. Yeah, I don't know. But end of the day, that was messed up, and then they messed up on the true basic arena
Oh
for
yeah,
the 6
that
star. That 6 stars were still given the correct points, which we all think that we should, but not the correct for the new changes, where it would get the same as 5 stars, and for not given the higher points like it should have. So they allowed it to stay, which is good. I think they just
which
should have
made it
let it.
easier to hit all the milestones in this arena.
Yeah, definitely made it easier.
But it also offsets the entire point of this change for the basic arena,
Yeah,
kind of, and that inevitably means that the scores from
gonna
Dead
be
Will
wrong.
Hell's Kitchen round 1 and round 2 will be significantly different.
It's definitely going to be lower in the second round because of that. Not that I think a lot of people were going for it anyway. It's just the simple fact that it was easier to get more points quicker, which is supposedly going to be fixed when it refreshes the arena for the champs tomorrow. So we'll see. I would have just said, you know what? You did it for one round of the champions. Just do it for the second round also to make it
I
quote
probably
unquote
want
fair,
to.
I guess.
I still have the dilemma to decide whether I want to grind for 6-star Purgatory or not.
Right, right. But it's one of those things. We just have to wait and see. Hopefully, they get it fixed and doesn't cause any issues. There is going to be a what do you call it? A server downtime that will be on Tuesday. I believe they said it was going to be for 2 hours. It's the first time they've done it in like about a month, I think.
Yeah, they do it at
So
least like once a month or so, I think.
yeah. So it's like one of those things where I think
I conveniently
that
never see that mythical time of server downtime. I'm always asleep
yeah,
then.
you're usually asleep. It falls in your sleep schedule. With
Mm.
me, it's usually right at the end when I usually try and go to sleep kind of thing. So I don't know. It's one of those things that most people don't normally see, but eh, it is what it is kind of thing. Um, but yeah, that happened. And then in regard to the war thing, the slight
Well,
thing with the war, they were supposed. I'm sorry, I don't mean to jump ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's all fine. I'm just saying with the arenas, obviously, the entire arena thing has been as messy as it can be for last month, and hopefully, when the next set of arenas starts now, then everything's gonna be as it's meant to be. Even though it's still gonna be extremely difficult to initially understand the impact, for instance, the 6-star basic arena will have, as in like how much effort one will have to put in compared to how much effort one used to have to put in. Luckily for
Mhm.
me, if I'm not mistaken, because you can see it arena cut of history list, if I take a look at the featured 5-star, 1 second, should load any moment now. Here we go. Then after Devil's Hell's Kitchen, the next arenas that are gonna be so basically the upcoming 6-star basic champions gonna be Spider-Gwen, Luke Cage, and Colossus for next 3 weeks. So I have very little interest in it myself, but in case you guys want to go for any of these champions, because let's face it, Colossus is very desirable champion. Then we're gonna have to see how the progress goes. Jubilee is probably gonna be the next basic arena that I go for if I do not get Jubilee by that point, which is possible because I might open some featured 6-stars once they update. So we'll see. And then it's
I
gonna be
will say, Colossus. I'm tempted to go, if not the first round, the second round, to dupe my 6-star so I can start taking them up.
oh yeah, for sure.
But
Colossus is definitely very exciting champion.
it's gonna be a
But
high one. I definitely think that one's gonna be a high one, or relatively high, I guess I
yeah.
should say.
But yeah, so basically, next upcoming basic 6-stars that are going to come is going to be Spider Gwen. That's going to coincide with the round of whatever is going to be the next one. Then Luke Cage is
Whatever
going to
the
be at the same time with Overseer. Then Colossus is going to
Mhm.
be together with whatever
Which
arena
I
they
may
decide
also
to
try
go.
and go for Spider Gwen because I have her, but I don't have her duped as a 6-star. So
Yeah, the same
why not?
here, but I don't think I will, honestly. I kind of need to conserve
You
my
need a
effort, I
break,
think,
but
because
I
I have been
haven't
grinding too
been.
much.
Yeah, the last one I went for was Gambit, which I got to dupe him. And the only thing that sucks, and people don't know, and people always ask me this too, um, when you go for the basic heroes, if you dupe a champion, it only gives you one 6-stone. It'll awaken
Mm,
him, but it'll only give you
yeah.
sig 1. On the feature, it'll give you a full 20, and you don't get any ISO, and you don't get gold or anything. So that's just something
Well,
for
to be
everyone to
fair,
know.
as far as 6-stars are involved, ISO and gold is very irrelevant compared to the actual awakening
Yeah,
itself.
it is. Yeah, definitely. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of mention that too. But yeah, I could see myself going for maybe both of those. If I go for the first round and then the second round, the first round of Spider Gwen and the second round of Colossus, I feel like it's spread out enough that I wouldn't
Oh
be
yeah, for sure. Because
exhausted.
remember, each of these rings effectively take a week. So, for instance,
Yeah,
my
and
next basic grind is pretty much a solid month away from now. So I'm not
yeah,
too stressed about
yeah.
that. And
Because you're gonna go for
afterwards, the
Jubilee, right?
next
Yeah.
one after Jubilee would be Psycho Man that I don't have currently.
I actually just pulled him as a 5-star. Don't have him as a 6-star, obviously, but I pulled him as a 5-star. See, some of these that are coming up though, like okay, so Colossus would be the one after Spider Gwen. I could dupe. Jubilee, I don't have it all, so I may go for her. Cable, I would need to dupe. Strife I don't have. Yellow Jacket I already have dupe, so I'd leave him alone.
Definitely,
Psycho
a lot
Man
of
again, I
people
could do
will
that.
be looking at these arenas to significantly enhance their 6-star options, I think.
Definitely.
Especially because,
Kingpin I would go for a dupe.
especially because, you know, Spider-Gwen's decent, Luke Cage decent, Colossus is amazing.
Definitely better. Yeah.
Cable is one of the more sought after champions for many. Then there's Strife, which a lot of people love.
Yeah.
Then there's
I'm
couple of
tempted depending on how much he goes for, because like the points that it has there, that's the 5-star points in the first category, right? Or the what is that? I'm trying to see what the data is on that first line. The first
the
points for
first
this one.
line is the 5-star. Yeah, it's basically
Okay, the
the top
5-star.
5-star, top 5%, 6-10%.
So it may be a little bit less. Well, no, because we're talking about 6 stars too.
Yeah.
But the problem is the 6 stars don't give as much points, so it may still be similar to that. Who knows?
It is obviously going to be higher because these pools were for what top
5 stars.
Top.
Oh, top 300 also.
Top 300
Yeah, I
and this
forgot.
top 100, so
300.
it's going to be a
300
significantly
was
different picture.
So yeah, I forgot about that because you're basically a third of that score. So it's probably gonna be like in the 80 to 90 million minimum, I'd guess. I still don't think we'll get a lot of triple digits on the basic.
Oh
but
no, I
could be
don't think
wrong.
we're gonna ever get to triple digits again on basic champions.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I really
Maybe
think
if
it'll be
Ghost
in
or
the
Doom is
80s.
in basic or something like that. But other than that, I don't really
Yeah.
see anybody putting up triple digits without the extra
feel
points
like
from 6 stars.
Yeah, I feel like the high would be 80, but even that I think may be too high because again, you're only gonna get the same point as 5 stars. Which I mean, I hate doing, but if I need to use my teams, I'm gonna have to use my 6 stars and just get less points to get it when I'm going for an actual champion in basic, which kind of sucks, you know.
Oh. Yeah, I know this
I
arena
don't
is
know.
confusing and it's gonna stay confusing. But talking about confusing and something that actually finally, in one way or another, Kabam managed to Kabam me and kill me off in Alliance War. With that latest updated fact that Alliance War offensive tactics are not active yet. And when you select them, you
Yeah,
don't
they're
actually
bugged.
select them. And I knew that there was one offensive tactic that I really wanted to test out, which in theory would make a very specific champion quite bonkers. And I thought off-season is perfect way to test it out. And I'm gonna explain what happened, and Kabam kind of got me a bit. So we have this power down tactic. Yeah, finishing a 5-hit combo with a different attack from the previous will apply a wither debuff from the opponent, reducing their ability power rate by 20% for 15 seconds. So it's 15-second debuffs, quite substantial duration for that. Each promise effect on the attacker or non-damaging debuff, excluding wither, on the defender will apply an additional wither debuff. You follow me? So if you have like 5 debuffs on the opponent that are not wither, and you finish a combo with a different ender than the previous one, you would place 6 wither debuffs. So in theory, you can, well, stack up withers extremely fast on the opponent. I seemed to remember a champion that would significantly benefit from that. And let me show you that. Let me disable display capture. And that is the infamous Sig 160 Luke Cage. They actually ended up taking rank 2. And here we go. Luke Cage
which
gains...
I have as rank 2 also.
Yeah. Luke Cage gains 1135.8 attack rating for each debuff on the opponent. So that is about 25% of his attack in this case. So basically, if I have 4 withers, which would be very easy to do, and in theory I should be able to get relatively straightforward, like 15-20 withers plus, like, 3-4 exhaustions at times, I should be getting, like, like 10,000, 15,000 attack increase on my Luke Cage, and that should be some insane amount of damage.
I was going to say, not only that, you could really push him to a special 3 and tank it.
That was the plan, yes.
And same for me. So I was like, dude, that actually sounds really good. I think it may be a rank 3 incoming if it ends up working well, JJ.
Yeah, exactly.
I was tempted on it myself.
Yeah, that might be a potential R3 because it could really work out quite well combined with his ability to tank level 3s. And yeah.
Any mistake can basically help. Yeah, it'd be great.
Especially and then I went in a fight where I otherwise wouldn't have. And then I got wrecked because this offensive tactic wasn't working.
Well, right, which is so stupid. I couldn't.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
every time I
and
tried to
then I
select
just
it,
got
it would
shattered. I ended
say,
up eating level 3, which disabled my indestructible, and then I just like made a
"Mm,
single mistake and died. Basically,
"That
it was still
sucks."
my mistake, but needless to say, the fight should have been over by that point.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so dumb. Yeah, that looks like it'd be pretty good. So yeah,
But
that's the one same one I wanted to test out
it's
also,
also
but I
very
hadn't
cool
thought about
because
Luke Cage.
it will enable you to completely shut down any and all healing on the opponent, in addition to being able to
Mhm.
reverse any power they gain artificially.
Yeah, it'd basically be just like it'd be make sure that you're like it's almost like a Mystic champ with Luke Cage with a lot of damage.
Kind of so. It would be.
Almost.
So it
It's like
was brilliant in my mind. I was like, I actually, that was the final kind of like click that I needed to take Luke Cage rank 2. I was like, that sounds awesome.
yeah,
I want to try it. I want to try it in serious setting. Did that, went in war and died.
yeah.
Luke Cage obviously
I
has other good qualities, and I don't regret the rank by any means.
No,
But
no.
it
I
was
I
quite
told
cool.
you I ranked mine up about a month ago to do last month's cav, I
Yeah,
think, and it was
he
well
is very
worth it
fun and
then.
very cool and all that stuff. But I wanted to have a
Yeah.
ton of fun with my Luke, and I didn't. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically they haven't specifically, which is again kind of defeats the entire purpose of this thing, because in off season, let me just say it straight up, nobody's interested in setting up the toughest defense, the wittiest defense that they can, because you don't want opponents to prepare for surprise and trick. Catching opponent by surprise in tier 1 war accounts for, like, a lot, because people only die a handful of times. So any surprise that you might have, people always save for the actual season. Like previously, for
Yeah.
instance, when stubborn was going to be the dominant tactic, and everybody thought the stubborn is going to be the next tactic to fight against, then nobody
Mhm.
plays stubborn up until season started. So nobody would have time to learn how to fight against stubborn, and they would be forced to learn as they go, or just
Yeah.
purely by theory. And the same thing is here. Nobody's really bothering to put up the defensive tactics that they probably are actually going to use or whatever. And only kind of like reason for this extended off season is for us to get used to, which we now absolutely cannot, because the
Yeah.
defenses are not being set as they are going to be during season. And if offensive
Yeah.
tactics are not working, we can't even test out any combinations, because once Alliance War season is going to start, nobody will afford themselves testing. Now it's a season war. I'm not gonna bring in Luke Cage if I'm not gonna be 100% sure exactly how it works. I'm gonna bring in Human Torch or Doctor Doom or Quake, and that's
Right.
why,
No,
to a large degree, I think all of these offensive tactics are a waste of time.
it's one of those things that like, I don't expect it to be fixed even for the war that's going to start tonight for some people. Well, for anyone that's playing an off season. I think it's going to be after the maintenance maybe it'll be fixed, which will only give us 1 week to do the testing, but again, it's not going to be with real, defenders and such. We're going to have to wait for the war season for
Exactly.
that.
And then yeah, well, and nobody's gonna test in the war season at the top, anyways.
Yeah. Exactly.
Which, yeah, again, is
That's
a
it's so
reason
stupid.
against
It's
these
it just
offensive
breaks
tactics.
everything. Like no one's gonna test it because they don't want to have
Eh,
it backfire on them, unless they're on a baby alliance and they don't give a
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
And
that's exactly. But again, on the lower lines stuff like that, they don't have these
it's
offensive
different.
tactics, and it's different fights and stuff like that. So this
That's
entire
true.
spiel
Yeah, I
about
forgot about that.
offensive tactics in itself, I just find them bad idea, so to speak. Like, we have
Yeah.
offensive tactics that involve Guillotine 2099. Okay, Guillotine 2099. Okay, fine. That's one champion that might actually benefit from it occasionally if you happen to need like a slow. Yeah.
Right.
Colossus, maybe Venom, maybe Guardian, possibly. But then we go into Heimdalls and Iron Man Infinity Wars and Calopsidians and Vision Timelies and Terrax and Venom the Duck. Who the hell is going to use Venom the Duck in Tier 1 war or any war where these offensive tactics are like a
Oh,
thing? You know what I mean?
everybody, KT, don't you
Black
know?
Panther Civil War, Airwalker, Civil Warrior, Vulture. It's like, why even bother with champions like that? Nobody's just going to use them. If you want if you want people to use offensive tactics, give them to the best offensive champions. Quite simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
Ant-Man, like we have Jubilee, Sentry. Who's gonna bring Sentry to Alliance War unless he's getting buffed?
Yeah. I that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's one of those situations where it had a potential to be really good, but they kind of
No, well, I think with these offensive tactics, it's less of a situation where it had a potential to be very good. I think it's just a critical oversight and a flawed concept in itself. I think even if you designed an amazing offensive tactic, people are still going to bring in Doctor Doom over Iron Fist, even if it will actually make Iron Fist playable. Because nobody's going to take the chance, nobody's going to take the risk.
Well, risk versus reward, and the reward is so small.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was a champion that you were going to bring in regardless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you there. So being busted doesn't help anyone, and just
and
sucks.
and especially now that this would have literally been the only time that we can actually test and try and have some fun with them. But they're busted, so it's just annoying. It really is annoying. But on the other hand, we do have something significant to talk about, and that is the Alliance War rewards. So I'm gonna enable
that kind of came out of left field. What was it, on Monday, Tuesday, something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I spoiled the surprise for people.
Yeah, well, you had everything up to Platinum 1.
Yeah.
And then I think Platinum 2 and the below got it a little bit later. Just a little bit later, not a lot. But yeah, excuse me.
No worries.
Definitely was one of those things that
the increase is actually quite huge, isn't it? For
yeah. I have some gripes, but it's about the lower tiers, and we can talk about that when we get there. But in regards to like all master, the way they split top 10 master versus top 20, I think is something that was needed for a while.
Agree.
I think it's great that they made some changes to Platinum 1 and even the other. I mean, Gold 3, I think, still gets T5CC. I remember, if I remember, I'm going by memory.
Now T5CC goes up until Gold 3, yes, and currently.
Yeah. So Gold 3.
And currently, the T5CC would have went down only till. Let me take a look at my screen here.
Yeah, the old one.
Currently, T5CC only went till Plat 4.
That's what I was going to say. I think it was Plat 4. I don't think it was Gold at all.
Gone down like 3. And now even Silver 3 gets 6-star shards and half a TFI basic. You know, 1,000 6-star shards ain't that much, but half a tier 5 basic is a solid chunk for a Silver Alliance.
Half a tier 5 basic is amazing. And just like I said, the fact that even Silver 1 is, look at Silver 1. I mean, you get almost enough to rank, you get basically half almost to rank 5 someone.
And you get like 15,000 5-star shards and...
Yeah. So, I mean, I think is much needed. Like, this update has been much needed. I really would have liked to seen, like, if you look at like Gold, if you can scroll up, all of Gold having what they have, I think is fine. I think Gold and below is good. I think Platinum 1 above is good. I think that Platinum 2, 3, and possibly 4 shouldn't have a 5-star Nexus.
Yeah,
they should just have.
That is the thing that I kind of what's the best way to say? I genuinely think. Okay, so hear me out here. I genuinely think this is an error. Because why the hell would Gold 3 get 1 5-star Nexus and Plat 2 would get 1 5-star Nexus as well? Especially considering that currently Platinum 2, let's say, Platinum 2 would get 40,000 5-star shards. So why would they take away 40,000 5-star shards in exchange for 1 tier 5 Nexus?
Oh, because we're getting more T5CC, and tier 5CC just is everything. But they don't look at. That's not how you're supposed to look at it. The shards are not the same as fragments.
Should not be looked at in same correlation to crystals. And crystal wise, like if we take out tier 5 CC and tier 5 basic, whatever it is there, and we look at Platinum 2 right now, right? Plat 2 Alliance is used to have 15,000 6-star shards and 40,000 5-star shards. I prefer that other split. I'd prefer
Yeah,
in
I would
that
rather
progression
have.
level. I'd prefer 3 more 5-star crystals or 3 more 5-stars effectively, because those 3 5-stars.
I don't need a nexus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about 5 stars at all. So why give me a nexus? Just give me enough to get more crystals, so I can get more shards for
But
the 6-star.
that's why I also think it's a typo. I don't think that
I don't know. Have they
everything.
said it? I mean,
I don't.
it just looks
I
bad.
haven't checked it, but when I looked at it initially, I generally think it's a typo, because it kind of doesn't make sense where they convert 40,000 5-star shards
Yeah.
into one 5-star nexus, and then for where is gold 3? Gold 3 used to get 10,000 5-star shards, right? And they convert that into one nexus as well. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I know exactly.
So
what you mean.
I generally think that what should have been done, and what maybe they have intended to do, is just turn 10,000 5-star shards into a nexus crystal.
Which if that's the case,
Or maybe count it as 15,000 shards, and that would be like 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, or something like that.
yeah, just something better, because right now it's not making sense. If that makes
Yeah,
if that makes sense, it's not
like,
making
overall, I
sense.
think the rewards bump is quite significant for a ton of players. I think a ton of players
It's
will,
great.
at the very least, start looking at Alliance War as something that might not replace or overshadow the importance of Alliance Quest. Alliance Quest is still better in terms of rewards if you play it meaningfully. But Alliance War, I think, now will get a lot of people back, so to speak, who had turned their backs on it. Because
Yeah.
realistically, getting in gold 2 or plat 3 or stuff like that is not all that hard, you know?
No. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm in Plat 2, and that's where we usually are, in the Plat 2 range. And the fact that Plat 1 versus Plat 2 is so different is weird. It's weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. Plus, again, looking at what we have right now versus, or I guess last season, I should say now, compared to what we have now, it just doesn't make any damn sense to me.
Yeah, there's going to be a huge race to plat 1. I would never want to be in plat 2 anymore. Because you basically
Yeah.
get half the amount of 6-star stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if they update it at all. Otherwise, I think that people in Platinum 2 and 3, maybe 4, are going to get a little bit pissed off. Definitely in Plat 2. I mean, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be rage if we get Plat 2 and that's what happens. If
Yeah, I
it ends
mean,
up
if
being exactly
if
this.
that was meant to be like 3 or 4 5-star nexus, I suppose that would kind of be alright. But still, yeah, there's still a huge difference. One is
Yeah, are
basically.
you on the forum right now for that?
Yeah.
I'm curious. Well, I mean, it depends on how many pages there are, replies and such.
Well, this
I'll do
post
that
doesn't have
later.
any replies.
Oh, that's right. They always do it where it's like,
Yeah.
this doesn't have it. People that make up, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. I forgot. They're stupid like that. They're like, go discuss it on your own, and then it has like 50.
Yeah. No, but like in
Red.
general, overall, it's definitely a significant improvement. And with this, obviously, there's a massive tone of Tier 5 CC availability across the game as well. Tonal shift where previously, Tier 5 CC expired at Plat 4 level. And Plat 4 used to get, let me just double check. What is it? 5%, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And now Plat 4, for instance, gets 40%. So it's like 8 times as much Tier 5 CC for them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
definitely.
definitely a significant change. Obviously, the top rewards are quite eye-catching. All the top 3 get basically a full-on Tier 5 CC, just in different delivery methods. First spot gets to select whatever Tier 5 CC they want. Second spot gets a full-on crystal, so where you're gonna land, you're gonna have a full Tier 5 CC. And third spot gets Tier 5 CC broken in 4 different pieces. But there is a massive difference, though, in between Masters, even top 10, to top spot rewards in the Tier 6 Basic and Tier 3 Alpha. So, needless to say, regardless of how I personally feel and think that Alliance War currently is in a bad place, and I don't think the changes for the upcoming season made it any better. In fact, I think canceling the previous set of changes and bringing like stuff like Stubborn back and things would probably make the Alliance War more interesting than whatever they did now.
Right. I agree.
Because
I agree
these
with that.
new offensive, well, so first of all, there's no protect anymore, like I correctly
Yeah.
predicted. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, you thought it was gonna be there still.
I thought it's not gonna be there, and people thought that. They didn't say it's not gonna be there, but they introduced a new
Oh,
set of
yeah, I know
ones.
what you meant. Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. They thought that it was gonna be there, and then yeah, which you were correct about.
Yeah.
I wish they would bring Stubborn back. It just was better.
I don't know about what they need to bring back, but I just know that whatever is gonna exist now, we have damage
It's
over time. Oh, sorry, regenerator. Yeah.
yeah, I don't even know which one's the best one. Looking at them, I
Okay,
think
so we
we
have
did.
defensive tactics high ground. That is the anti-quake one, otherwise absolutely useless. Other than quake, stopping quake, this is pretty much useless. Basically, every 20 seconds they get an altitude charge, and when they have altitude charge, you take 500 damage per hit and block, which is nothing. Which is for
Yeah,
rank 3, 6,000 and stuff like that. It's nothing.
that's the
And
one
you
we
just can't
chose
evade them.
for that
So
reason.
this literally
Yeah,
is no more quake tactic. They have
yeah.
untouchables. When the defender triggers a miss or evade, they gain a resistance charge, granting a 30% damage resistance passive effect. And intercepting, you can remove it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so stop evading. So if they have this defensive tactic active, right, just bring in your evade counters or bring in quake. You quake somebody, they
Mm-hmm.
can't evade. Right?
Yeah,
And
that's exactly
then
right.
we have that AW regenerator where they gain some extra power and they trigger regeneration effects and stuff like that. All of them are. I don't see them being hard. Maybe there are many interactions they're missing. On top of that, they made the map itself easier to account
Yeah,
for interactions with new Kingpin and Immortal Illumination.
yeah. And then what's weird is, and I understand that they, like for example, like before, specific tags and stuff like XL champs and things like that. But the ones they do now, it's just kind of weird. I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Same. And
It's like let's throw these
currently, I
champs out
think
there.
the next war season, maybe not the initial couple of wars, maybe a couple of wars, there will be people caught off guard with like some,
Yeah,
neat
it may be
tricks
one or
and
two
stuff like that.
wars, and then everybody will used to it.
And I think then definitely in the second half of the season at the latest, so let's say wars 6 to 12, we're gonna see 1-1-0-0-3-3 wars in top all the time. As in, like, I fully expect us to get first, or I don't know if we have had a 0-0 in past, but with this setting, I do expect there to be a 0-0 war.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely could. Definitely could. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. It doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like the rewards are not bad. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't really seem like it's enough to make people really want to jump back in if they've been not wanting it, or people that are burned out really want to get back into it, unless they're at those high tiers where they know they can guarantee to get something really good.
Well,
Like, and maybe if they're in the lower tiers too.
I think that's quite gonna be the thing. Uh, I think people will want to fight war, but
Hmm.
all of the shortcomings of the current offensive, defensive tactics, the old map, everything else is gonna quickly make people hate war even more because people are gonna feel as if they have to do well in war because of
Yeah.
all the good, better rewards. But war in itself is in as bad of a place as I have ever seen it, to be honest. And I don't think these changes make it better. I think these changes make it worse. The more I think about these changes, the more I wish they did nothing to it.
Yeah.
Because
Exactly.
I genuinely, yeah, I think there's gonna be more ties. I think every death is gonna count more, not just because the deaths are likely to go down, but also because of the scoring system changes, where every death has a bigger looming impact on the season score in general. And I understand that my alliance really wants to push the war. I want to do
Yeah.
well in war as well. But not because I want to play the war. I have never wanted to play the war less in the last couple of years. I want to get the rewards. I want to do decent for my alliance and with my alliance. But I expect it to be hard, miserable, but relatively easy time when it comes down to fighting. I expect most of the wars to be decided by one silly, stupid death when somebody's toddler walks in a room or you have a disconnect or something happens. You know what I mean?
Drop the
I,
phone,
I
anything,
expect
yeah.
these wars to be more about than who really plays very well than which alliance doesn't have any whoopsies, more or less.
Right.
Bec- because yeah, I generally see the death count go down. And already last season we had like new nation with like 3 ties in a season. Imagine like a quarter of your wars are ties. That immediately indicates that the game mode's busted. And I think the changes to this game mode right now are making it worse. I generally don't know what Kabam was thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we're just gonna have to wait
It's kind of like
and
not
see.
releasing a new map, making the old map easier, making
It
offensive and
doesn't really,
defensive
yeah,
tactics kind of more
doesn't really do
easy.
much. Yeah, doesn't do much at all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I generally
It is
think
what it
this
is.
is.
It's just enough to
I
not.
think I think
It's
in
just enough for them to say they did something.
I think
That's
in
what I feel
short
like.
term it's gonna bring more people in Alliance War, but it's gonna make more people dislike Alliance War.
Yeah, it's going to end up being just a bunch of the fact that they took away the defender points for having remaining defenders was stupid too, because
I
and I
kind of
hate
like
this. They
that
were
though.
like,
The remaining defender thing,
well,
at my level, I like it. At bottom levels, I understand that it is punishing
well,
because a lot of people use
hear
the blitz.
well, no, hear my reasoning. This is why. It's not because of that, okay? It's because for the longest time, every time I think even when they released this version of the map, when the first version of this, the way it looks and everything came out, Kabam was high and mighty saying that the goal for every team is never to 100%. It should be a few and far between. You 100% the map. Blah blah blah. Which
Well,
we
they
all know is
clearly have changed
BS.
that goal because they understood that no matter what, there will be
We were
teams
gonna
with
100%.
100%.
Yeah, but that's what's so stupid. It's like, okay, so that's why you were rewarding people for, if they decided to go do like a boss rush to do that. But now it's like come down to,
Well,
I mean,
I'm not gonna hold
if
that against
diversity
Kabam because they
starts,
are allowed to change their stance on game modes.
yeah, but if everybody runs full diversity, there's going to be, I think, more ties in the war than anything. Because I mean, what are you gonna do the ties on? What's the tie gonna be based on? You're
Well,
not getting any more.
the ties
I mean,
already
let's
were
say
a problem, and they are gonna be bigger problem with this. I
yeah,
agree.
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna
But
be even
the
worse
the thing
now.
that they said 2 years ago that the plan is not to 100% the map, but everybody still pretty
Yeah,
much tried to 100% the map. They're fully allowed to change their attitude to our game modes, and in fact, I do hope they change their attitude. For instance, against
yeah,
Alliance
I'm
Quest
okay with
and
that.
stuff like that. So
But I'm
I'm
okay
not.
with that.
I,
But the problem is it's gonna make the frustrating part, the tie, be worse for more teams. I mean, it really
I
is.
genuinely don't think a tie is gonna become a major issue to any alliances below Masters.
Any alliances below Masters? You don't think it'll affect them? I
I don't think it's
disagree.
gonna be. Maybe you're gonna get one tie season. It's gonna suck. But we already
Well, the
had.
thing about ties, it counts as a loss. Like the points count as a loss. Nobody gets the bonus points or
Yeah, but
anything, which is stupid.
yeah, which is annoying. But I don't expect there to be many ties. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe every other war is gonna end up in tie, which is what I don't think it's going to be. Because I do think that
I
in
don't think
low.
it's gonna be
Okay,
that
well, let me put
widespread.
it like this: lower tier alliances die in war by default. Otherwise, they would be
Yeah,
in higher tiers. It's quite simple as
yeah,
that.
that
Lower
makes
tier
sense. Yeah, it
alliances
makes
die
sense.
in alliance war, right? So long
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
long
that's what I
as
said. Yeah, I
plenty
agree
of
with you.
deaths and plenty of point variance is involved, purely mathematically, it's very unlikely that there are going to be frequently occasions where alliances die the exact same amount of time. And if there will be those occasions, then more than likely they would have tied in the previous system anyways.
See, I've only experienced a tie once. ever, and that was a long time ago. I mean,
Okay.
it hasn't been recently.
Okay, and
But
we'll see
I
if you
really
tie
feel
next
like,
season.
well, that's why I'm just saying. I feel like outside of Masters, you're going to see more ties than not. That's my thought.
I think it's going to be completely opposite. I think you're going to hardly see any ties in the lower ranks. Because you still have
we're
attacking
going to wait and
bonus.
see. I mean, it's a prediction.
Huh?
I said we're just at the end of the day. We got to wait and see. It's just our prediction. You
Yeah,
think it'll
obviously,
be
but
less? I think it'll be more.
ultimately, like below Masters, alliances die more, and the more each alliance dies, the harder would it be to score exactly the same points as your opponents, because both alliances would have to die exactly the same amount of times.
Yeah.
Or not explore same amount of nodes or whatever, because you still get the exploration nodes bonuses, right? So if your opponent explores less, then cool, you still win by default. It's just that you don't get extra points. Your opponents gain less points. This is the only difference in the scoring there.
Well, but what it does is it penalizes two teams that played well on the
But again,
level
like,
that they're
why
on.
would you think that there will be more ties? The only difference
think
right
about it.
now is that if your opponents don't clear as many maps, as many nodes, you don't get extra points, which ultimately is good. They still lose their points. Just what?
So what
So they would
happens
still lose the
with
war.
the remaining defenders? The alliance that has the remaining defenders get points on that.
No.
Now they don't.
Well, now they don't. But the alliance who
That's what
didn't
I'm
clear
saying.
them lose the points. So where would a tie come in place there?
Well,
Why
that
would you
would
get
not be a tie. It would be. What I'm saying is,
what they did affect not frequency of any lower alliances tying, because they still get less points if they don't explore everything.
I understand that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about now teams that may used to not explore. Now they are going to explore. Okay.
Well, they will have to.
And
Yeah.
now when they listen, hear
I'm
me out
listening.
before interrupting me. Okay. But by exploring, they're going to have more deaths, which could be equal to the same number of deaths on the other team. Well, where is the tiebreaker now? Because if they have the same diversity and they explored the map 100%, and now they have the same deaths, it's a tie. There's no tiebreaker anymore.
That has always been the tiebreaker.
No.
Yeah.
No, if you have the same deaths, you have the same attack bonus. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So the deaths are going to be the same.
Why would the deaths be the same though?
Because there's no way to have the same score now. There's not. How can you have a different score if they 100% the map and they have the same amount of deaths?
How often have you seen the same amount of deaths for 100% the map?
Are you saying that the tiebreaker is if it's more deaths that typically don't count against your attack bonus? Where was it said that?
No, what I'm saying is this change now does not affect at all the likelihood of two alliances tying.
When you're looking at platinum 2, 3, 4, probably some gold too, a lot of them, they have certain people that die. Okay. That's the reason why they won't kick those people. That's why they're in those tiers. Okay. They're always going to be in those tiers. But there's some people also that don't die. So it's possible to have the same deaths on both teams.
It's always possible, but again, that likelihood of that is significantly higher in Masters than anywhere else.
I think in Masters, it's just the level is very small. I think it's like one death and one death.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's much more likely to happen.
But I think you're wrong. I don't think it's less likely to happen in those other wars because they're getting a lot of deaths, both sides. I just think that there's now one less.
Okay, let me ask you a question purely statistically then. If you have a 6-sided dice, how likely it is to roll 2 ones, as in like to roll 1 twice in a row?
That's whatever 6 times. It's like 31 and
36.
36.
1 to 36. Let's say for an average top 10 Masters alliance, that is how many times top alliances die in a war. 1 to 6 times, depending how good or bad the war is.
That makes sense.
So that's 1 in 36 fights end up in war. And now imagine your alliance dies 30 to 60 times, or whatever your alliance. What is the lowest and what is the highest death count in your alliance?
I was going to look on now. Mine, granted, it's a little bit higher than what I'm talking about. But
well, whichever, like just tell me whatever alliance you were part of last season.
I know that I've seen like 20th, 20th death, 20 deaths,
20
23,
deaths.
somewhere around there.
Assuming that's the best one. What is the worst one?
I mean, I've seen where an alliance is like 8 triple-digit deaths before.
Well, no, your alliance. Your alliance. We're talking specific.
Oh, in mine,
like,
I think I've
same
seen it
level
go as
alliances.
high as like 50, 60ish range.
Okay, 60. So imagine what is the likelihood. So you said 20 to 60. That is 40 death difference.
Yeah, 40
So,
death different, correct.
40 death. So imagine what is the likelihood if you were to roll 40-sided die twice and get the same number, opposed to rolling a 6-sided die twice and get the same number. 6-sided die is 1 to 36. If you had a 40-sided die, so 40 times 40 is how much? 16, 1,660. Yeah. That is the likelihood your alliance, who faces the same theoretical alliance of the same variance, will end up tying.
Mathematically, yes, you're right.
Exactly.
I absolutely agree with you on that. Mathematically, you're right. But I think in the reality and practice, I don't think it's going to be that clear numbers, because just looking at my most recent wars, like for example, even though it's the off season, because unfortunately the last war of the season, the other alliance we faced had like, they had like 80 deaths to our like 30. So
yeah, exactly.
Like
so where's the tie? There's no chance for a tie.
Yeah, well, no, I mean that's a clear cut. But here's an example. Okay, the last 2 wars, now granted off season, right? One of them was they had 38, we had 35.
Okay, so did both of the alliances explode 100%?
Yeah. Ooh, actually, that's a good question. I forgot to look at that. Let me see. Both of them did 95%, 95.9 and 96.2. We explored more than them.
You explored more than them.
So it wasn't 100%. Yeah, we explored more than them on that one. And again, it's off season, and it's rough because if it was season going on right now,
if it was
it'd
season,
be a lot
let's say you were likely to have explored everything, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We would not have explored everything.
There nothing changes with the scoring system. If both alliances explode everything, it still goes down to death.
But what I'm saying is, okay, so look at it like that range, because there was like a 4% delta between the 2 alliances of not exploring and exploring. It was like 3 point something with us and 4% with them. We were ahead in their deaths, and it's very possible we would have caught up on their deaths, and they wouldn't have had any more to do the 100%, and then we would have been tied. You see what I'm saying? It's more likely.
It's also very likely that there is a reason why there's no 100% exploration, and people would die additional times on the nodes that typically do not explore, so the death would still vary. Again, it's purely theoretical, but when it comes to individual alliances tying, there is no significant difference to old scoring system to the new one. The only difference that is right now, if you do happen to have a very one-sided, lump-sided matchup where your opponents are unable or unwilling to explore even half of your map, you get a significant advantage for nothing, undeserved one. Unfortunately, with the matchmaking being as skewed as it is, that has, for instance, had significant impacts on a lot of Masters and Platinum level alliances, where they just happen to match one alliance who either had some sort of issues, or it's just very lump-sided matchup, or there's something shady going on, or whatever. And let's say one alliance doesn't explore anything or explores only half, and they're ahead all of their direct competitors for entire season, just because somebody else didn't explore some fights, right? So this ultimately still means that it is still important for you to explore everything, not to lose points.
I don't disagree.
But you do not benefit from anybody not being able to perform up to a level. So ultimately, in like a scoring point change level, I have absolutely nothing against this. I am absolutely pro that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I think you're thinking there'll be more ties in the higher. I think there'll be more ties in the lower. I'm not saying that it won't be more ties in the higher too, but I definitely could see it be more in the lower. And yes, everyone, AQ is bugged again.
Of course it is.
It's the same issue as last week, by the way. So go ahead and make this, because we're pretty much done talking about war. But
yeah,
Alliance Quest is bugged again. For everyone who doesn't know, there's been no comment from Kabam. It said 15 minutes after it hit the 2 o'clock for today for it to start, and now it says 15 minutes again. They just said, they didn't say anything about not fixing it, Ewan. They said that until they figure out where the problems are. They obviously fixed it last week. They can fix it again. Now it's going to start later, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, wonderful. Anyways,
Yeah.
so those are changed the lines. So ultimately, obviously, the rewards change and increase is neat, nice, wonderful, whatever. I don't think that there is nowhere near enough tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basic in masters. Because even, yeah, it's pathetic amount for masters. Only meaningful
It
amount is
is.
for like masters rank 1. So I don't like that, to be honest. I really don't like that.
Well, KT, we know why.
Yeah, obviously, no,
We
why?
know
Because they were
why.
selling
Because again, this is
2000 tier
for
6 basic frags for 65 bucks.
this is for this is the free stuff, and they will never give as much as you need to be the first rank 4 in free stuff. You're gonna have to buy offers, and that's the thing.
Of course. Anyways, but in general,
Which is
I don't
unfortunate.
like the change to war season. I think the war is going to be worse for a lot of people, and that's annoying because they made the rewards better, so more people will want them, but more people will suffer for their laziness, incompetence, or unwillingness to make war compelling.
Yeah, I think people just need to decide if they're gonna play war, take it seriously. That's all you got to do. End of the day. But there's some people that like playing war and just don't want to take it as seriously, which is fine too. But that's why there's lower tiers. So that's it. Okay. Hey, next thing. Guess what, KT?
Guess what? I don't know. You tell
We
me.
we didn't get we didn't get Omega Sentinel as the champion that should have won because I think it was rigged by Kabam and the community, quote unquote, voted for Hercules. So that's supposedly coming next month.
So we do have like this Dev Diaries Hercules episode 4, and from what we have seen, we can see that he's gonna have some sort of 12 feats of labor mechanic, which is quite intriguing, to be honest. I want to know how he ramps them up. He's gonna have persistent charges, which are going to be those 12 feats of labor, I think, and you're gonna start with like 2 completed. We also know for a fact that he has access to precision and cruelty buffs. We can see that he has guaranteed crits on a level 2 at some sort of capacity. You can see that he does burst damage on his level 2, and actually that level 2 is quite juicy there.
Yeah, looks pretty good, especially with the bonus damage you're getting from having those.
Yeah. And he also has at some
Immortality.
point...
Is the immortality? I think it was towards the end.
Yeah, somewhere it is there.
Towards the end of it is when they were doing that. Pay no
Yeah,
attention
here
to
we
the
can see
Kabam
that
broccoli with his
he
blurry
has
face.
some unblockable. That is definite icon for unblockable. I don't even know what this icon means, if somebody can explain to me.
Which one? Where is it? Which one are you looking at?
I'm pointing arrow in it.
I know. Well, I was gonna say with the first, second, third purple one. I mean, come on, tell me the number.
Well, the first one is the immortality.
Immortality, right?
Second one is unblockable,
and then the other one, yeah, I don't know what that one is either. It says, is it an immunity one? Because look, read on the screen, it says immune unless it was.
Oh yeah, he's immune to something, but what he's immune to?
I know, I don't know, because he's still got shock on.
So he might be immune to the power drain.
Maybe so. Maybe it's the immunity.
That's
what that is.
It can either be armor break or power drain. No, it's gonna be power drain. But he has access to armor break himself, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. You know, again, this is still not final, but for them to show it, yeah, definitely.
Also, seems to be quite a chunky boy there.
Yeah, I was gonna say you saw his PI. Granted, it's running suicides, but yeah. Did you see that they're what else? I was gonna say, I lost my thought because the wife came in trying to interrupt me. Yeah, they're basically making the immortality very similar to Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, by the looks of it.
And yeah, definitely, I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. I am looking forward to seeing what he can do. The ramp ups. I'm wondering if you can do all 12 of the feats in one fight, or if
I think so, because he was fighting Winter Soldier and he had all the 12 feats active.
Oh, he had all 12? I didn't see that. Okay, I forgot to look at it when he was fighting Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah,
I really think
12 feats active.
Okay, well that's obviously Realm of Legend Winter Soldier. So yeah, that'd be really cool if he can do that. Now the thing is do you have to ramp it up every single
Unfortunately, I
fight.
saw the word special intercept, which is something I absolutely hate.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that too. Special intercept is not something I enjoy. That's why I don't like the new Black
Yeah,
Panther. Well,
it's
when I
almost
say new Black
impossible to
Panther, I
do
mean Black Panther
consistently
rework.
these days because it doesn't count it so often.
But they also mentioned there was two things they mentioned. They said it was going to be easier to do that, and also when you're playing up against
Here we go,
an
special
AI
intercept.
that's a little bit, yeah.
You see, special intercept next cruelty, and that is when it's going to be the guarantee. I think,
Attacking as much, but
unfortunately, that
basically
that is one of the
he's going to
mechanics
have
that I
something in his
dislike
kit.
most about the Black Panther. So
Yeah, no, that's why I said I didn't like it. But there's something in his kit apparently in this video that they said for when the AI is being more blocking, not attacking, that he's going to have to play off of that well, which sounds interesting. I mean, because we've run into that before where the AI doesn't want to work with us, and if there's something that basically allows us to almost punish the AI for doing so, or to get them to where they're not doing that as much anymore, that'd be great. You know what I mean?
mm.
So I don't
In
know.
general, I don't know.
It'd be
It kind of
interesting to
looks.
see.
I also like the fact that they said that since it is a community champion, they're gonna try and make it as accessible as possible.
Which is, that's why if it's going to have the persistent charges, like I said, I just hope it, maybe the awaken ability is it carries over every fight. Maybe otherwise you have to do it every fight to get to the 12 feats.
Maybe.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not that you have the 12 feats only after he's awakened, like sometimes they do. I don't think it's going to be that though. I think he'll just maintain it, kind of like Aegon, in that aspect of it, which have him ranked up. He just carried over. I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I would imagine a lot of them are like, I'm sure intercept is one of them. I'm sure doing a heavy is one of them. I'm sure doing each one of the specials is one of them. A heavy attack is one of them. Maybe ending with a light attack is one of them. Ending with a medium is one of them. Doing a 3-hit combo, maybe getting against the wall is one of them.
Yeah, well,
There could be all kinds of
we'll
things.
see what it is, but does look it's gonna
That's
be
10
quite
that
interesting.
I named, so I'm trying to think what else they could be. 10, there could possibly, the other two could be intercept with the special,
It's
and
probably gonna be
then
trigger
what else am I
decks or
missing?
something as well and stuff.
Yeah,
Anyways,
probably trigger decks or parry. Yeah, there you go.
but yeah, I like the fact that there's gonna be immortality. Immortality is quite cool.
Yeah, it makes it, and that's what they were saying for like Alliance War, especially like you get one
Yeah,
more
well, with
hurrah, which
Alliance
would be
War,
nice.
they for instance, I don't think they understand themselves sometimes what they are saying because they clearly have made plenty of critical oversights. And for
Sure.
instance, when it comes to Immortal Hulk, you can't use him in Alliance War because that immortality mechanic is not protected by ability accuracy reduction, and everybody and their dog runs at least 1 point in their assassins, typically when they play defense in Masters. Very, very
Yeah.
rarely when it doesn't. So even with 1 point in assassins, it's already unreliable to use Immortal Hulk on Alliance War offense. And if they have added the line that ability accuracy reduction of this blah blah can't be reduced like they have done, for instance, with Ultron's function, stuff like that, then fair point. It might work very
Right.
well. But
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was wondering.
but if it's not in there, then forget about that guy in Alliance War immediately, or at least
Yeah.
at the very least for that mechanic specifically. Because
Yeah,
Immortal
exactly.
Hulk is cool for everything, but he's like I would love to bring him in for a ton of Alliance War stuff because I truly believe he could nuke down a ton of things. But I can never use him in Alliance War ever because Assassins is a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Pika had mentioned hopefully it'll be better than a Immortal version of Hulk, and I disagree. Immortal Hulk is amazing. I wouldn't mind if he's better than that,
Yeah.
but Immortal
I
Hulk is
mean, oh
good.
yeah,
So.
no, in a sense, like, yeah, hopefully he's better, but I do still think that Immortal Hulk is a bit of a sweetheart of mine these days.
Yeah. I think the people that still don't like Immortal Hulk are ones that have never really seen how the game has evolved and changed now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways,
See.
that
We'll
is
see.
Hercules. That's the way he looks, and he has his
Hercules.
victory animation somewhere as well. If you guys want me to show it, some of you guys really liked it. I find it a bit too tacky.
He
I didn't
seems a
like it.
little slow with his animations, in my opinion. I know he's supposed to be a big guy, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be an XL character. Let's put it that way. I think
It's
he's going to be
probably not, yeah.
large.
But yeah, that is that. Now the bigger question is, Now the bigger question is, well, anything else that happens here is kind of irrelevant. But final quick topic to discuss. Rank 4 6-star champions. We all know that they're coming. But let's just be real here. Let's just be real. Well, first of all, up until when is it? February, beginning of March, whatever. We had no real idea when rank 4 6-stars will arrive, because 3.5, 4 months ago,
Yeah.
we had no rank 4 6-star materials. Not a single one.
Yeah, we had none of it until, I want to say, end of April. Was it end of April? I think it was end of April.
Spring cleanings, I think end of April. So
End of April, yeah.
So that's 2 months ago.
Yeah, basically, well, a month and a half, but yeah.
So 2 months ago, and this has actually caught me off guard. 2 months ago, we had 0 tier 6 basics and 0 tier 3 alpha. Fragments, nothing. They didn't exist they existed in the game, but nobody had acquired any. And then we saw the first ones in the spring cleaning, which was a huge freaking deal. Caused quite a lot of commotion, so to speak.
Yeah.
And after that, people obviously immediately started speculating when we can expect rank 4 6-stars. And I personally thought it would be towards the end of the year. I personally thought it would be kind of initially after I saw them. I speculated it could probably be around the time end of this year, beginning of next year, when gifting event happens or Act 7 finishes or something like that. But
We
then
even
they
talked
started...
about it last week.
Yeah, well,
We even talked about it last week, thinking it would be after maybe 7.3, but it's looking like it may be sooner.
exactly, because every single time we have this conversation, it seems that the timeline is approaching much quicker than we anticipated. Because yeah, as we said, like even when we talked about it like last week or a couple of weeks back, because they started appearing more and more. We have had now 2 casual offers with tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basics in. We had them in 7.2 rewards, had them in Grandmaster's Gauntlet, and we had them in Summer of Pain. So that's like 6 or 7 sources. So basically it almost seems that every other week we get some sort of influx of these things.
Yeah. It's definitely seems as if we are moving towards a
It
time
seems like they're
where
rushing it. It really does seem like they're rushing it.
and here's my thought again. I'm putting on a little bit of a conspiracy hat and such. I think because more people are playing Alliance Quest, okay, more than War. They're trying to get people to play more War, which may or may not come to pass. That's why they're doing the changes. But after having their low earnings back right before the spring cleaning was, they knew what they were going to start releasing, but the deals itself, I think they kicked into high gear, and it's going to get even worse once July 4th comes, and even after July 4th, I think it's going to get crazy. And the reason being is I think they want to push the top alliances to have everybody scramble in those top alliances to get the first rank 4, so that way the prestige increases, and that way it causes everyone to be in this prestige race that's even more. Because right now the max prestige is like 13,850, I think, or something like that, or 858, something like that. And they're wanting to push that higher, and the only way to do that is with rank 4s now, and the only way to do that is to provide the materials.
Well, that's not the only way to do that. The other way is
Yeah.
to release more high prestige champions. That's
Which is what they're also doing with Overseer. Overseer is
well,
becoming a top prestige champ too, and I think there'll be
well,
more
not
of those.
right now though. As a rank 3, I believe he's
still like 7, I
sixth,
think.
and
or
as long as
sixth.
he's not in top 5, he doesn't affect anything.
Yes and no. I mean, people are still going to go for him because the expectation is that the next rank he'll be higher, and the rank after that he'll be higher in the top 5. But
No, I mean,
I think
but
we'll see
you said
more
pushing higher than 13,850, whatever it is. Oh no, actually,
right.
Yeah,
It'll be higher than 13,850 if you include if rank 5s end up coming, or even rank 4 he ends up being in the top 5. It'll be higher than that, but not right now. Right now, rank 3 is not going to be higher. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying the people that already have that max rank the only way they can, and the only way they can push them to get higher is to give them the rank 4 materials, and they're going to have to sell them to get it there quicker than when the content's coming out. And granted, even the content wasn't going to give it to everybody because they don't want free-to-play players being rank 4 for at least another year, year and a half, I would imagine. So I don't know. That's why I think we're going to see more deals. I think we're going to see more after July 4th. If July 4th doesn't get us real close to it, I really think that we're going to see it after July 4th, a lot more offers coming out.
Shut
and
up
it
and
is
take my
weird
money.
about what you're showing right now about the tier
Punisher,
3, which I'll let you talk
XMNP,
about that.
$9.99.
Oh, Punisher's coming in. Thank you very much, Punisher. Appreciate that. But
Yeah, it's my
here's
alliance
my
mate.
personal
That's my alliance
prediction.
mate.
Oh, it is. Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, he's one of my buddies. He's good.
So funny. Let's
Thank
make a
you for the
deal.
donation.
Rename yourself Punisher 2099.
Punisher 2099.99.
Yeah, exactly. 2099.99.
But yeah,
What I wanted to say, I want to. I'll make a tiny prediction. Teeny tiny prediction.
all right. Let's hear it.
I think end of August with the finish of Summer of Pain is going to be first rank 4. I think July 4th is going to put us. Let's say we're going to get a catalyst of each.
Yeah, I think so easily.
I think let's say by I don't think they're going to put tier 3 alpha and tier 6 basics in Odin's bundles. I think they're going to put them in Odin's bundles. I don't think they're going to give it to free to play players.
No, not at all. Not at
so
all.
I
They're
think
going to be in
buying
the pain
3
bundles.
I think buying 3 Odins is going to give you thereabouts roughly a full catalyst.
Of each one?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
people are going to end up with like 2.5 or 2 and something, yeah? Or close to forming the third one.
Right.
I think there's probably going to be, so in between July 4th and end of August, there's going to be 1 to 2 offers that we saw similar to what we just did that are way overpriced and offers dribs and drops. But people are still going to buy them because the rewards for Summer of Pain are also going to include the final missing piece of these.
Yeah.
So I think that let's say July 4th is about 1 catalyst each, which would put us to 2.5 of each, right?
Right.
And then I think Summer of Pain would, let's say, offer us 33% or a third of these catalysts, which would put us about 10-15% out of farming each one of those. And I think that they're going to release 2 overpriced offers till end of the August that will let us farm each of those respectively. So if you buy one for like 100 or 200, you're going to farm your third tier 3 alpha, and then if you buy another one, then you're going to farm tier 6 basic. So I think that is how they're going to milk us the most, the hardest, and I think end of Summer of Pain is going to finish with a rank 4 6 now. That changed my prediction.
So what do you think about the whole you need 3 tier 3 alpha, and they only give you 2 spots in your inventory?
I think that is going to change as soon as anybody has any chance of collecting more than 2 of them.
Okay, because I was gonna say you're close to 2 yourself.
Yeah.
And now, granted, you won't be close to 3 until July 4th, I would imagine.
But yeah, I think as soon as it's gonna become an issue, they're just gonna update it like they always do. Like if anybody remembers, initially it was the same thing with tier 5 basics that you could hold only like 2 of them or something like that. And as soon as they actually put out tier 5 basics, they updated it to like 4 or 5 or something.
I'm really surprised they didn't do that right when they started offering the shards to let us,
Yeah, it's something they probably should have. It's something a lot of people have asked me, but I think it's kind of like a null issue. There is no way in the world that they're gonna force us to have these catalysts expire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if they do that, let me put it this way: if that ever happened, there would be some tickets to Kabam, and after you get it escalated a couple times, they'd probably reimburse you quite a bit.
Yeah,
because they know that you've paid a lot of money.
Yeah. So first rank 4 is APOC just to place on Warboss. Oh, that would be a cruel fate, but I can easily see that happening.
Yeah, they could. You never know. It's Kabam after all, aka Morty.
Well, no. That wouldn't be Kabam. That would be players screwing each other out.
well, that too, yeah.
Imagine like first rank 4, like put on like Ebony Malls and Apocalypses and Cord.
Like
Imagine somebody so spiritually ugly to take Korg as first
Like-
rank 4.
No. You know, it'd be the funniest, like a Groot.
No, I think
rank
Korg.
4
I think
Groot.
Korg would be like the nastiest thing that somebody can take rank 4.
Oh well, that'd be nasty because of the implications. But a rank 4 Groot,
yeah.
like Insidious Rage said,
Absolutely, nobody.
that'd just be the biggest.
No one
what the
will rank up
F.
Groot as their first until like much later in the game.
I could see someone doing Omega Red.
Yeah, Omega Red definitely I can see some people doing that because that would
Some
be
people
what a
doing that.
selfish player does that doesn't care about prestige. And,
Yeah, doesn't care about alliance and prestige.
Well, I
and
would
all
say
that,
it's
yeah.
selfish, but anyways, maybe somebody has a different approach. But
Yeah.
I can see easily Kenobi like ranking up Korgs in Apocalypses and obviously the Dooms and
KT
Immortal Abominations and stuff.
Yeah, KT and I have already said both of ours will be prestige driven, so it'll either be Doom or Surfer.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely going to be Doom.
Just whatever you have the
Which
materials
honestly is right now kind of like stressing me out because I have a Mystic TF5CC and a Cosmic TF5CC, and I want to rank champion up within both of those classes. But with this uncertainty and when and how the TF5CC is going to like get acquired and when the next ramp is going to be, I'm quite cautious when it comes to ranking up those champions and Cosmic and.
I'm so far away
Mystical.
that I went ahead and ranked 3'd Venom the other day, and I just
I want to
ranked,
rank 3 Venom. I have rank 1 to 2 Cosmic Gem, and I have a Cosmic Catalyst. I want to rank 3 Venom, and I want to rank 3 Dragon Man.
And that's the 2 I did. I was about to say Mystic, I did Dragon Man. I'll tell you, Venom as rank 3, I'm about to use him in my Alliance quest this week. His damage is so insane once you get to rank 3. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is insane. It's just, and his health pool's pretty big too. But yeah, definitely, I went that route because I've getting a little off topic, but I was just gonna say I've increased since I joined a top 20 AQ alliance. I've increased my prestige almost 700 points, and I'm already over 13K.4. So 13.4, a little over 13.4 now. So I feel like I've done a lot to help my alliance, and I'm gonna keep putting in 6 zones and stuff.
I have went out to 13,820.
Congrats, man! You're almost at the top now.
One of my most meaningful potential prestige plays right now could be.
I know what it is.
Well, here's the thing: at the 6-star rank 3 level, I have a Cosmic Awakening gem, and I have Phoenix, and I could rank up Phoenix.
Yep.
She's currently 7th behind Overseer, but when it's gonna come to
wait. I said I would wait just because Overseer, you're gonna go for him. So.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not gonna. We'll see. But even if I go for him, I don't know when and how I will awaken him. But at the 6-star rank 4 level, Phoenix is still 5th. Phoenix is above Overseer.
Okay.
So at 6-star rank 4 level, Phoenix is number 5. So.
Well, how much of a difference is it though? I know what we're talking about, but I'm just saying, how much of a difference is it though?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. What I do.
Okay. Well, what I'll say is, whatever you end up doing.
Oh, here's the infamous sheet as well. That was.
Yeah, whatever you end up doing, it'll be for the alliance, and that's what the good thing is. Same with me, But yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just
think,
a quick reminder. You guys finally wore me down. I did end up compiling this list that has been heavily scrutinized. But you guys got what you wanted now. And this is like the biggest but my own alliance mate started fights with me for this. They want Cosmic Ghost Rider switched in places with Venom.
Yeah.
And what I'll just say flat out to everybody listening.
It's not the same.
I'll just flat out say to everybody listening right now, if you guys keep making a fuss out of it, Venom is gonna go down, but Cosmic Ghost Rider is not gonna go up.
If you move Venom down, then we're done. We're done professionally. You move Venom down.
It's still meta. It's still a second highest tier.
Yeah, I don't think you need to change anything.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason
I know, I
to,
just
but
meant-
yeah.
I just meant, but no, just to prove a point and just to spite all of the Venom haters and Cosmic Ghost Rider lovers, if I will move Venom down, Cosmic Ghost Rider still ain't going up.
I think instead of moving Venom down, I think you should just move Cosmic Ghost Rider down to make him really
Oh.
understand.
The useful thing. Oh, that would start a revolution.
Don't touch my Venom. And I don't even care that he's on the top. I just don't want him touched. He's my Venom. Leave him alone.
But
Anyway.
yeah, we'll see how it changes. I did make like one change, I think, since I recorded the video, and I did put Dr. Octopus higher. It was actually a mistake. He was always meant to be in the useful tier.
Did you put I forgot. Did you put a link to like a Google Sheet where no one can edit but they can see it easily?
Yeah. There's somebody
that
viewing
updates.
it currently right now. Anonymous Penguin.
Yeah, it updates whenever you update it. So
yeah.
So that's you're golden with that.
So I'll probably update. I'm not entirely sure how often I'll update it, but I'll obviously keep it updated and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that is also us done pretty much with today's show.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this was a fun one.
Yeah, it's quite fun. I liked fighting with you about Alliance Wars.
Well, I just like that we can have different opinions, but I think we set a good example to everyone that it's okay to have different opinions. You just need to be able to respect people and not treat them like crap whenever you have a different opinion than them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another important thing is not to take that discussion anywhere else where it needs to go, and just keep it on point, if that makes sense. For instance,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll take a heavily, I don't know, scandalous opinion. Perhaps Mando likes sweet and sour chicken more, and I like some sort of, I don't know, barbecue chicken more. Whatever. We might have the most devastating, heavy discussion because we both believe what we believe on the matter. But that is it. That's where the discussion stays. Whether Mando is right about what chicken is the best, not whether Mando is a good human being and deserves to be my friend, kind of like thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Thing, like for instance, we're talking about Alliance Wars, and that's where it stays. That's where it stays. It doesn't change my opinion about you at all.
No. I mean, I'm a noob. That's all we know.
So the point that I was trying to make is when you fight with someone or when you disagree with someone, keep on topic. And also, once the fight is over, just forget about it. Leave it there.
Yeah, it doesn't need to. It doesn't mean that you need to say personal attacks and personal things about it. Just keep it on topic, and then. Or
it doesn't mean that you have to hold a grudge at someone for disagreeing with their chicken preferences or champion lists or whatever else you might talk about.
Yes, there you go.
People need to relearn how to discuss and intellectually enrich themselves without getting emotional. Is what I think.
For sure. No, I agree. I think that's a good note to kind of end on too. I mean, basically just here's what I always say, be open to listening. And you don't always have to respond either. That's another thing, you guys. A lot of people don't understand that. You don't have to be the one that says the last thing. You don't have to be the one that always says something. Coming from a loudmouth.
Yeah. And like for me, it goes like whenever you're discussing anything, discuss the point and have no malice towards the person that disagrees with you. Unless they start launching personal attacks on you, in which case you can destroy them.
In that case, nuke them.
In that case, just press the red button or call me, and I will tirade and berate them for 30 minutes to a point where they will cry. But don't be the first guy to make it personal. And don't be the first guy to take it off point. When somebody veers off the point of discussion and starts going on silly things, then they have lost.
Yep.
Anyways.
It's already the point where they lost. But yeah, we love you guys.
Anyways, you guys are awesome. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning, I do have plenty of things to do in game. I have a couple of rifts still left to do. And I have that silly arena to do. That, 500k.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that arena. I forgot there was an arena this morning.
Yeah, I need to do that before that resets on Wednesday, I think. So I have that one to do,
Oh, that's
and
right.
if we have any time left over, I can just jump in like have EQ or uncollect EQ or whatever. So we have a ton of things to do tomorrow morning, and by that time I will have found out what score Purgatory went for, and I will decide whether I want to grind for Purgatory the 6th time.
Or be in purgatory forever.
Because I'm definitely not grinding for the next basic champion, so I would still not have to do both rounds in a row, I guess. Anyways, we'll figure that out. For now, you guys are awesome, and we'll catch you next week with the episode 23 of KT Time.
KT Time.
So for now, let's just say huge thank you to Punisher for being the sole contributor to today's KT Time. Haha!
Thank you, Punisher, my brother from another mother who's my alliance mate.
And also, we have to, absolutely have to, say huge thank you to Mandalorian for, as always, being totally on point, delivering interesting opinions, as wrong as they are.
I was waiting for it. I was like, he's going to say something. You wait. He's going to say it. It was always a pleasure, KT. Like I said, I always love it. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. Helping out the team, helping out the chat. We're all loving it, so.
Yeah, now I just need to do the final thing, because otherwise JJ is going to cry in the chat.
Oh, no.
It has to be done.
Okay, we'll do it. If it has to be done, you must do it then.
I'm in danger.
Lovely. Well, everybody, have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe. Go do Alliance Quest. Have fun. We'll see you tomorrow.